Hello and welcome to another episode of Study of X, the bi-weekly podcast where we cover the Krakoa era of X-Men comics. I am your host, Tim, and with me as always is Chris.
I hope everybody has their bets locked in for who's going to win certain rounds of the tournament, because once we get started, we're going to be going through a lot of them really quick.
Yes, we are. And Sergio.
Yeah, we are in it now.
Yeah. Did we expect for this to pan out this way?
No.
Yeah.
I remember first reading this and kind of being a little disappointed in the way it played out. Reading it again, I think past me was a little silly. I kind of had fun with all of these and how they played out and everything. I was still expecting more of a fight and less silly games, I guess you could call these. But you still get some honest fights in there that are very good.
Yeah, I don't know if I would say I'm disappointed, but I was a little taken aback by where this goes. But still, if someone told me beforehand, like before reading this whole event, that we were getting the X-Men playing Mario Party, I would have been completely on board with the concept. So I'm not going to complain.
Yeah, that was kind of the thing too. It was just, I remember there was a reaction of just like, wait, this isn't quite what I expected, followed by like, it's kind of fun though.
Yeah.
And I do think, despite this not really being the tournament arc that you think it is, it does play out about the same way you would think it does.
Yeah. I again was expecting like more melodrama and more like pathos for everyone, and we get some of that.
Yeah.
I'm glad for Cypher. I truly am. But this is not where I was expecting him to end up. He might still end up elsewhere. I mean, we're still like closest to the end, but not quite there yet. So who knows what's gonna happen next.
He could get a sword through him, at some point.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this is just to be clear, we're on Excalibur 14, Wolverine number 7, and X-Force number 14 today. This is covering the we're near the end of X of Swords now, and this is the first kind of batch of fights that we have. Do we want to get into Excalibur 14?
Absolutely, because we have a lot to cover. So for Excalibur number 14, this is written by Teenie Howard and came out in November of 2020. I actually want to read the opening quote by Apocalypse. It says here, "Find the most fearsome challenger in all of creation and make her your wife. Lie down at night beside your greatest threat. Make love to your fate." I hope he told that to Cypher.
Yeah.
Dude has this in him, and instead he decides to write the most nonsense, like alchemical text instead.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He should be he should be publishing this. This is
yeah, I know. This is good stuff.
Apocalypse's Guide to Love.
Yeah.
That would be funny.
This is the survival of the fittest that we need.
And by that we mean it's time for everybody's wife era.
Yeah. But yeah. So speaking of not really any of that, we're in Otherworlds, and Jubilee is still here, just hanging out in the base camp.
Yeah, and
they were doing a whole thing in Excalibur before all this popped up.
They really were, and then for some reason, nobody got word to Jubilee that the tournament was going on, because she's here with her son, who is still a dragon. And Betsy just kind of gives her a last-second message of, "Hey, I'm about to fight a duel. I might lose. If you don't hear back from me, maybe do something. By the way, there's a tournament."
Didn't they betray Apocalypse next door? Wasn't there a huge battle here the other day? Did she sleep through that?
Yeah, I guess so. Maybe that wasn't an Otherworld proper. That might have been closer to, because they're near the Starlight Citadel. No, yeah, that should have been
Mm-hmm.
You can see the Starlight Citadel on the
panel.
Yeah,
how did you miss? How did you all miss this? They're just hanging out at camp.
I I don't know. Maybe I don't even know. I can't even make a joke because I'm not sure. You can see the Citadel in the background, and there are camps underneath it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's just still like the green priestesses just hanging out here, I guess. But yeah, so Betsy gets a message to Jubilee, who I guess has just been hanging out
That's
for
one hell of
days.
a nap.
Right?
Yeah. And says like, hey, there's gonna be a duel. I don't know if I'm gonna live. I'm just letting you know what's about to happen.
Yeah.
Yep. And before she can really explain more to Jubilee, Iska walks in, who is her opponent for this fight, and basically says, hey, if you want to live, you can just drop out now. It's okay.
But yeah, Iska walks in here, just kind of tells Betsy, hey, you should probably quit. Betsy doesn't seem too into this, but does ask Iska about her sword being named Mercy. Iska's just like, nah, it's just a name. You're gonna die.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. In no small terms, you're screwed.
Yeah. But yeah, we're on to
And-
the tournament, and they got a little like Camelot fairground like jousting field out here.
Yeah. This is very much what you would expect to see at the Ram Fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun. I still like the running joke that King Jaime has Sinister's coat still. It's been fun to see him every time.
Uh-huh.
Still has it. Yeah, we get a you could be anywhere else in Avalon today, but you've chosen to be here line. I like that quite a bit. MC Jamie's kind of fun. But yeah,
Fun.
we are
Yeah,
dueling.
no, he's very fun.
Yeah, we're dueling to the death here as the crowd cheers for the incoming bloodshed.
Mm-hmm. Betsy does get the first strike with her shield, which is good considering as the fight goes on, it's gonna actually end pretty quickly. Iska is going to hit Betsy once in her shield, and the other hitting Betsy's sword, which will immediately shatter into pieces, and then extends to Betsy herself as she shatters and breaks like a stained glass window.
But before we get too into this, I just want to talk about the Arakawa crowd shot here, because they have, I feel like they just gave this generic dialogue to somebody without thinking about if the character would say it or not, because Redroot shouts, "Bring me her head," which,
That's very funny.
Feels a bit out of character for Redroot from what we've seen so far.
He's really into fighting.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, shatters
As an spectator.
Yeah.
He's like the one who brings sighing to the wrestling match.
Yeah, not super into the actual fighting part, but watching two people fight. That's Redroot stuff right there.
That's okay.
Anyway, yeah, Betsy shatters.
Yeah, the dialogue does something really cool here where the dialogue fractures too.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, fun. Love it when they do that little kind of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, and everybody is very shocked, and Saturnine's just like, what a shame. And Arakawa gets the first point here.
Yep, pretty much immediately, though, Brian, Betsy's brother, is going to call Saturnine out for this, and is pretty much like, hey, you caused this, you're doing something here. And Saturnine's like, I don't know what you mean, but she's dead now, so let's keep going, because we have a tournament. Let's not talk about this.
Yeah.
Yep.
Anyway, we get a data page here about Captain Britain loses in a stunning upset, citizens of Avalon furious, and it seems to be written in like the style of an article from the Crooked Caller.
Mm-hmm.
Or like it's like a newspaper from the Crooked Market is what it seems to be the style is here. And
Yeah,
it's
fun.
Yeah, it's like a 1920s like fight recap thing. Like I feel like I just hear this in like a transatlantic accent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What I'm reminded of is the announcer in The Legend of Korra, who also does the episode like intros.
I was gonna say the same exact thing. I'm glad we're on the same wavelength with that. Like coming through like
Great.
an old time radio and everything.
Yes,
Yeah. Also, there is a name mentioned here that they got a quote from a local Duel fan, Eldenbert Bogentruffle, which it's a good name. It's a really good name.
That's gonna be the name of my next D&D character right there.
Yeah, it's quoted as saying there was a shattering.
We kind of get a reinforcement of the same thing of nobody is entirely sure what just happened and why she shattered. It's a little suspicious.
Yeah,
but we're still going to move on.
She's just kind of broke. I will say though, I don't know what this stunning upset business means. I looked at that odds sheet from last week, and Captain Britain did not have higher odds than Iska.
I think it's because this was her home turf, so everybody was like, "Well, obviously she's gonna win, of course."
Her name is the Unbeaten.
You gotta message the headlines a little bit if you want to sell some papers.
I guess so.
Also true. Also, it wouldn't surprise me if Jamie had something behind it, considering he bet against his sister and made a ton of money.
He bet on Isco of 100-1 odds. I'm like, why would you do that? Like, not Jamie, but why would you at the crooked market have odds like that? That's just asking for you're just losing money. It's a bad play here.
I don't know, but it's very silly.
Yeah. But anyway, Cypher's card's been pulled and he is being dragged off.
Yeah, immediately. No time to mourn Betsy, no time to discuss with everybody. We have to get over to the next bit of tournament here, which is going to be Cypher against Bay the Blood Moon, who is also being taken away by a bunch of handmaidens, although she's fighting it a lot more.
Yeah. And there's an interesting bit here where Bay says a line and Cypher is just lost. He doesn't actually know what she said, which is very odd for him because, his powers is understanding all languages.
Yeah. And he very quickly becomes interested in her because of this. She's gonna keep talking to him, and he's pretty much gonna be oblivious and like, wow, this is so weird. I'd love to know more about you.
Yeah, while Bay is just saying stuff to him like, I will paint their tombstones with their blood.
Mm-hmm. But hey, if you can't understand it, I'm sure it sounds nice. But we do get a data page right after this explaining why this is the case. It's a little bit about Bay and her Doom Note, which we found out a little while back is her mutant power. It's a little similar to Black Bolt, if you know that Inhuman character, where if he speaks, it's a lot of energy and can pretty much level an entire city if he speaks too loud. Hers is kind of similar, but she can control it enough to where she can still talk to others without, leveling a city. The only thing is her speech is not a language, it is a psychic power. Which Cypher, who can understand languages, can't understand powers. So that's why there's a disconnect going on here. It's kind of like trying to rank power levels between people. It's kind of silly. It's very in-depth, but I also really like it because that's the kind of very silly minor anecdote kind of thing where I'm like, yeah, that's fun.
Yeah, and like just to put it into, just for a little more clarity, the whole thing with the Doom Note is that it wants to be understood. So everyone else, even though Bay isn't speaking the same language as them, can understand what she's saying. But because it's not a language, Cypher can't understand what she's saying. And that's interesting.
I think that makes sense.
Yeah. It's just a funny little power interaction, but it's gotten Cypher into a mode that he's not used to, and he's fascinated by it. But yeah, Cypher's still trying to get answers, and he's being dressed up.
He gets like a really nice white poncho. He's got a flower crown. The handmaidens are just giggling around him and not saying a word, even though he's trying to figure out, 1, what's going on, 2, what happened to Betsy, 3, am I about to die?
Yeah. Magic comes in, remarks that he looks cute, and says, yeah, we don't really know what's going on either. We're kind of in the same camp as you.
Mm-hmm. She does kind of calm him down a little bit by saying this doesn't look like they're preparing for a fight. It looks like they're preparing for a dinner, which calms him down a little bit as they open the door into this very small chapel where Saturnine, Bay the Blood Moon, and both sides are waiting, as it looks like Cypher is about to get married.
Do you remember a couple of issues ago when Magic was training Cypher, and there was a line about how this would be fine if we were preparing him for a wedding?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, is that right? That's very funny.
Yeah. I did not notice it till this time through.
Same. I think there's another instance also of somebody making a joke about a wedding, and I caught both of them. I'm like, that's funny. That's good.
I like Cable's double thumbs up.
Yeah.
Same.
Like,
Everybody else is very serious and solemn, and he's just over there. Hey, I got you.
But yeah, everyone's here, and Cable and Bay are getting married.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of cute here because Cypher is very much flustered about this entire thing, the fact that he can't understand her, and this is a very new thing for him. Not to mention, as she removes her veil, she is very pretty, so that also gets him to stammer a lot. And so as they're making their vows, when Bay gives hers, Cypher has no idea what she said, but Apocalypse is like, yeah, those were great. You should say yes.
Yeah. There's also kind of a fun part where there is like some relief here with Cypher because he's like, oh, we're not fighting to the death. Big fan of that. But yeah, she does give good vows.
Yeah. I like Storm on Wolverine here quipping.
Yeah. It's everybody else is just kind of making jokes about this. And yeah, it is pretty funny.
You know, it's the same thing. Like, they're probably as relieved as Cypher is because they all expected him to die here.
Yeah, and there's kind of an interesting bit here where Bay seems to be taking this very seriously because it's Bay. Like, she's just gonna kind of throw her all into this, where Cypher is taken by her because, like, of the power interaction here. Like, he's very fascinated by this.
Yeah, a funny thing that comes about as a result of like the structure of this is that I can see the X-Men being silly and being put in these positions, but the Arachosite has been hyped up so much as being like violence focused and fighting focused that putting them in this situation makes them look like the punchline.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which is a very interesting move for me.
Yeah, I think so as well, especially as we're going to keep going with these issues and seeing what them being the punchline means. But even with, you know, this whole thing being the punchline, like Bay is this murderer, the Blood Moon and everything. And here she is. She's like, yeah, sure, I'll protect my weird little, husband. Sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
But our wedding is interrupted by fire as Jubilee is here on a dragon because Betsy did not give her a call back, and she assumes something is wrong, and she's right. But
yes, she is. But
yeah, maybe not the best move.
Just as a reminder. Yeah, just as a reminder, also, because this was discussed in Excalibur and not here. Dragonfire in Otherworld in particular destroys reality. Last time Shogo did this, some of Otherworld got into Britain and caused a lot of problems, so the fact that he's breathing fire is really bad. And it is pretty much one of the first things that Storm is going to go over to Jubilee and tell her, hey, calm down, we're trying to fix it.
Yeah. But yeah, Storm's going out to help her. Everybody else just kind of comments like, "Oh wow, this is okay. This is kind of fascinating. Probably shouldn't have her be attacking right now." And then you get this kind of very nice moment from Cypher as Bay is just putting on her get ready to fight gear, where he's just talking to her and she's not actually responding. And he's pleading like, "Hey, I don't know what's all going on right now, but please don't hurt that dragon." And it's kind of mixed in with him just being very flustered, him talking about like how much she fascinates him, and he really just does not want her to kill the baby dragon. And Bay ends this conversation with a kiss. It's a nice little moment.
Yeah, I mean they were about to kiss.
Yeah.
True.
Saturnine offers an extra point if they kill Jubilee, and Storm shows up to try to talk her down. The dragon fires some fire, but Saturnine takes it to use as fireworks.
Also, again, nobody caught Jubilee up at all because she sees Storm and is like, "What are you doing here?"
Yeah, just no one gave Jubilee the heads up on what was going on.
Nope. I feel bad.
Yeah. And yeah, so she uses the fire as fireworks, which goes very nicely with Bay and Cypher's kiss. What was that? Was that me?
That's
Hello?
fine. We can continue, I think.
Okay. Who
I can hear you
disconnected?
fine. Yeah.
Was that Chris?
That might have been me for a second. My Discord was acting a little funny.
Okay.
Okay, we're back.
Okay, yeah.
No biggie.
We're back again. But yeah, the fireworks go off as Cypher and Bay kiss, and yeah, the dragon knocks Jubilee off.
Yes, Saturnine, as she's trying to figure out what to do, realizes that, right, Shogo is a baby, a human baby as a dragon, and if she wants to, influence his mind, that's going to be really easy to do, and that's exactly what she does. She takes over Shogo's mind, has him drop his mother, and then come over directly to her.
Yeah. And Saturnine expected them both to lose this round, but gives a point to each of them, and asks if they should cut the cake.
Mm-hmm. So, we end on Arako with 2 points, Krakoa with 1 point. Not the best, but a relatively happy ending.
Yeah.
Yeah,
moment here
and
for
it's gonna
Cypher
be
and
the
Saturnine.
best they're gonna get for a while.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Things are about to go very wrong.
Yeah, it's gonna escalate really, really fast.
Yeah. So want to head in over to Wolverine number 7?
Before that, I was just thinking. Remember the Quiet Council talking about the safety of all of the mutants and the veto on going to Avalon and the other world?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, Jubilee still slept through all of that.
Yeah. She just missed all that. I wonder if the rest of Excalibur's still there too. Like, is Gambit and Richter and Rogue still just hanging out?
I would
Did
assume.
no one remember them?
I would
Yeah, they were
assume
just-
so.
Just didn't bring him back out of the field.
Wait, no, Richter came back because he went with them
Yeah.
initially.
Oh,
to the gate.
yeah, he did.
He was in the gate, yes.
Yeah.
But Gambit and Rogue, I don't know.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, anyway.
Yeah. Well,
Wolverine.
yeah, that would have been really bad if Saturnine killed Jubilee there, huh?
Yes, it would have.
But yeah, Wolverine, we start off with a quote here from Saturnine of so many cards left in the deck, and we've only just begun to deal hands for the game. Yeah, we're
We're going real fast.
yeah.
But for this is Wolverine number 7, written still by Benjamin Percy. Also came out in November 2020. Pretty much most of this event is coming out in November. The last little bit, I believe, is December. But yeah, we're going to be moving real quick, and we're opening up here as Magic has her card, and she is looking for the place of her duel with Pog.
Yeah, it's in the Holy Republic of Fae. The cool thing I think I like about these issues is we get to put kind of like a place to the data page description of a lot of these areas.
Yeah, I was hoping this was going to happen, and it happened, and I'm very happy about it.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yep, exactly. That's exactly how I feel about it.
Yeah, so she is in the Holy Republic of Fae, walks through a door into the floating kingdom of Rome and Regina, which was next to it, and everything's upside down.
Woo!
Yeah, that's kind of neat. And her first duel is up against Pog.
Again, can I just say how much I love Pog? He's a
Yeah.
big crocodile monster with red rock arms and a big sword.
Yeah,
He's just cool.
he's a cool dude. But yeah, they clash swords, and this is a traditional fight, it looks like, but nope, never mind. Saturnine took the swords. It's a contest of arms. It's an arm wrestling contest.
Yep.
And
And pretty much not in Magic's favor at all. I think one of Pog's fingers is bigger than Magic.
yeah, she's got big old rock hands, and yeah, she just slams Magic's arm just straight into like the stone here, and Arakawa takes 0.3.
Yeah, and we're gonna be going up points really fast. I have notes here to update us every now and again, but the difference is gonna get very large.
Yeah. So yeah.
Also, quick shout out. Gary Duggan is also credited with writing credits here. He is not on the cover again for some reason. I'm not sure why there's a difference. This has happened before. Maybe he only did a little bit here and there, but hey, there it is.
All right. But yeah,
all right.
We're in Blightspoke for a duel between Wolverine and Summoner.
And probably my favorite showcase of art from this artist here. This is Joshua Cassara, who has been drawing Wolverine and X-Force, I believe. And this sequence here in Blightspoke is probably my favorite of theirs. Because as Blightspoke has been described, it is the graveyard of different worlds and realities. And as Summoner and Wolverine fight through it, they get shattered, turned into different beings, morphed together, different art styles, different color styles, just everything. And it's done very well.
Yeah, I think this is very cool. Just to put it in a little more context, this is a duel to the death, is what this is described as. But they say it's not against each other, it's against Blightspoke itself. But yeah, it's like you get like these really neat little art style changes that happen while they're doing this, and yeah, it's very cool looking.
Mm-hmm. And in the middle of this, we do get a data page describing the Battle of Blightspoke. It's a little bit more of a poetic take on it. You know, how could a place with the death of all worlds have somebody who one can't die and the other is immortal? Very traditional Percy stuff, if you have been reading his work with us.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and it seems like it's they gave that there so they can kind of let the actual battle just be told through art, which I think is cool. But yeah, I like this a lot. There's like one panel here where they become like cave drawings.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very cool.
It's very rad. But yeah, it ends.
They turn into like Minecraft characters.
Yeah. They're like little block men.
There's a bunch to look at here. Yeah.
I like
sort of fun.
I like the one where Wolverine becomes a literal Wolverine up against like it looks like a Cobra version of Summoner.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
The paneling's
There's a Wolverine Summoner fusion sort of thing.
Yeah. There's one that's a chessboard. I think the paneling here is very cool as well. Yeah, just big fan of this page. It's very good.
Yeah. I could continue just listing variations here for a while.
Yeah. But the fight ends as Wolverine chunks his sword and it stabs Summoner through the eye.
Yes, Summoner is extremely dead. And unfortunately, that means Arako gets the point because the fight was to the death.
And Summoner fought to the death. Yeah,
this is bullshit.
That's some shit right there. I don't like. Come on.
Honestly, it was this fight here that really told me how the rest of this was going to go. Of like, oh, okay, we're playing by very silly Fae rules, where the meanings of words matter in the description of what's going on.
How on earth did Arakawa get a point from this, but Betsy didn't get a point when she got killed or shattered?
Because hers was not a fight to the death. It was described as something else.
I don't know. I'm not a. That's some rule nonsense here.
It is.
Yeah.
It is rule nonsense, and that's why I like it.
Yeah. No, I don't have a problem with it, like, narratively, but, like, I would feel ripped off. But yeah, so 4 points Arakawa, 1 point Kurakawa. Into the next contest where Wolverine and Storm are sitting down for a drink.
And this is actually a contest between the Krakoan side. And Arako is going to have their own. But for this one, it's just a drinking contest. And with Storm and Wolverine, they are absolutely okay with that.
Yeah, and they're like, we're on the same side, though. And it's just like, yep, but we have to battle.
The rules don't matter here.
I like this tarot card a lot. unique tarot cards here for like every battle. Some of them we get better looks on than others, but it's like Wolverine and Storm just drowning in a bottle.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they get to take some of the finest and rarest liquor in all the world as Jim Jasper pours them a glass.
I'm not too sure if that's Jim Jasper's. It looks like him. I don't know if it's exactly him, but it's somebody from the Crooked Market.
Yeah.
But interesting to note here as they are pouring themselves a drink is we do see this bartender being bribed by Death on the Araco side. So there is obviously something going on with the liquor.
Yep, and we're gonna see it come up multiple times.
Yes.
Yeah. So
some better than others, I would say.
Yeah. So the two just keep on drinking as the bottle gets smaller and smaller, and Crackle gets a point from this. So we're 4-2 now.
Hey, you know what? Climbing up there in the ranks.
Yeah.
Just a little freebie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So meanwhile, as Storm and Wolverine begin to flirt, we start cutting to another battle here, where it looks like Arakawa is also dueling itself. It's time for War and Solemn to fight. It's the showdown we've all been waiting for.
Yep, and the one War has wanted for so long. Also to note here, with Saturnine is Shogo, so he is still under her control. He did not go back to his mother, who is nowhere to be seen.
Yeah. Saturnine seems to be making some nonsense point here about no matter your nation, you are all enemies and you are all lovers. So, yeah, these...
Get it?
Yeah, you gotta fight yourself.
Get it? Because Wolverine and Storm are flirting and almost kiss.
Yeah. So, yeah, as the duel's about to begin and Wolverine and Storm are about to, kiss, Solemn calls in a favor, and Wolverine blips out.
Just right before. And
yeah.
I do have to ask, is this a normal couple that has, like, happened before?
No, they even pointed out that, like, I think they both say that they haven't really done that before.
Okay, because, I mean, a lot of the X-Men have kind of flirted with each other before, but I can't think of Wolverine and Storm.
Yeah, I don't think they have. That seemed pretty new for this.
Hey, but you know what? Krakoa is an era of free love, and I say go for it.
Oh, and the other thing that's a little bit weird about this whole sequence is Wolverine is getting drunk. Wolverine usually can't get drunk.
Yeah, healing factor and all that means that is not going to work.
Yeah. But yeah, so they blip Wolverine into this little fight between Solemn and War here, and Solemn says, like, oh yeah, sorry man, you gotta pay your debt.
And Wolverine's like, this is the worst time to do it. By the way, why am I drunk?
Yeah. But yeah, he says we killed some demons and you owed me a favor for that. And he's like, I know you want revenge, War, sorry about all that. And as he grabs hold of a fire dragon and flies off, he says, Wolverine just killed your son, by the way.
Yep, just, to make this even worse for Wolverine.
Yeah, yep. And Saturnine holds up the card here, which is 3 of Swords, which is showing like a 3-way battle here between Wolverine, Solemn, and War. And yeah, the fight starts. The first to cut off an appendage wins.
Yep, and we quickly get a data page here explaining what the deal was between Wolverine and Solemn. As Tim said, and just as a reminder, when they both went to get their swords, Solemn had both and said he would give Wolverine one if they made a deal, and we didn't know what that deal was until now. And specifically, it is, when Solemn calls for Wolverine, Wolverine will fight for him. And that's exactly what this is.
And Wolverine at the time just wasn't really thinking about the consequences of it, just said, okay, we'll have to deal with that later. Fair enough. And yeah, so he's in this fight now. And also, he comes to the conclusion that because he's still drunk, that means his healing factor has probably been turned off.
Yeah, so if he dies here or gets very wounded, he's probably not going to bounce back that fast.
Yeah.
And he does get a strap through the neck with a flaming sword and seemingly survives.
Yeah.
So maybe not all the way turned off.
No,
just
that
kind of
did
turned off.
that did help him out like a lot. It also helps that that part of it isn't his mutant power. That's just his adamantium spine.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah. So
But something also quickly to note is Wolverine does ask Saturnine what was in the bottle that he drank, and she basically says, "Hey, you shouldn't trust the crooked market, especially after you tried to kill me." So you know, she was in on it too.
But she's trying to. As she tries to sever Wolverine's neck, she runs into the adamantium spine, can't cut through it, and Wolverine manages to slice off her hand with his claws.
Which is actually really sick, and I really like how this turned out. A lot of Wolverine's self-talk throughout this entire fight really didn't do it for me. It was just kind of, It really could have been said in a lot less words, but the outcome was fun.
Yeah, I like this situation of Wolverine just while in just the worst state possible gets thrown into like this life or death situation. Just this sudden whiplash from about to make out with Storm into this person is trying to cut off his neck. But yeah, Wolverine wins. The point goes to Solemn. 5-2 Arakawa, just to add insult to injury.
Yeah, so even though Wolverine did win, he won for the other side. So either way, it's not great.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't lost a limb. So
True. So that is a bonus.
Because
He almost lost his head.
Yeah.
The alternative is he would have lost something, and then Arakawa would have also won the point.
Yeah. So either way, Arakawa was going to win the point. It just Wolverine got to keep his appendages.
Yeah. She's always a nice bonus.
Yeah.
Nice to have.
And also interesting to note here, maybe I'm wrong and I have to... yes, I was incorrect. I was about to say they did not get a point for the drinking contest, but yes, they did. That's where the other point for the two came from.
Yeah. So they've managed to get 2 points so far. One was battling against each other, and the other was the wedding, where Arakawa also got a point. So, not looking great for Arakawa here.
No, it's going really bad.
But yeah,
I gotta say, would you believe it gets worse?
Yeah, it does. But yeah, want to go into the next issue here? We'll finish things off with X-Force 14. And Magic and Poggerpog are fighting again, this time unarmed.
Yes. So still the same of you can't use your swords, but this time instead of an arm wrestling contest, it is just a fight. So whoever wins, wins.
Yeah.
So this one is fun. I really like this because Poggerpog pretty much picks up Magic and eats her immediately. And as that happens, he suddenly feels really sick, and Magic pops back out with the real Poggerpog outside of his rock crocodile suit.
Yeah, he's just a little goblin man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep, because the word Pog means sword in Iraqi, so his name is Sword in Sword, I would guess, or something like that. It's very stupid. It's another one of those really dumb things where I'm like, sure, why not?
Yeah.
Do we think the rest of the Arako team knew this?
I don't know.
I don't know. I feel like one of them probably guessed it, but the rest didn't care. That's my guess.
Feels like a pretty big weak link.
Yes, it does.
Compared to the rest of the competitors that they chose. It makes for a funny joke, which is mostly what Pogs are about. So yeah, sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it feels like, like even if he is a little bit of a weak link, he's still got himself like a mech suit that looks like an alligator. So like,
on
nice.
Style points, it's a win.
Yeah, but Poggerpog tries to say, wait a moment, Magic says no and just punches him in the face, and Crackle gets a point, 5-3. So yeah.
Magic did deserve a win.
Yeah.
Yes, she did. She was kind of unfairly beaten in the last one. If you knew you were going to arm wrestle with a Gundam, would you?
Yeah. Anyway, so then we get a pretty big montage of battles here.
Just a quick note. I like how the character portraits show who's been eliminated. So we've got
Yes, yeah.
Summoner crossed off as well as Captain Britain.
Yeah, so we've both lost 2 fighters at this point, so we're down to 8 versus 9.
Yeah.
Yep.
And like Tim said, we're going to be going really quick here. Do the two of you want me to just go through this really fast?
Yeah, this is like the, again, Mario Party minigames montage. Just the Krakow team being obliterated by the rest.
Yeah, so...
Yes.
We get what looks like a torture contest.
Unclear. You can just tell it's with Cable, Avalon War, and I think Gorgon in the background? I'm not sure. But Arako wins. So...
Yeah. We get what looks like rolling stones uphill, which Arakawa also wins, and then some kind of, like, tussling with sea monsters, which Arakawa also wins, before we get an eating contest that Krakoa wins.
Which I'm not sure how Krakoa wins the eating contest, because it's not just normal foods, it's brains and eyeballs and squids, and they're up against Redroot, who seems to be a plant person and is enjoying it also, so I don't know how they won, but I'm glad they did.
It's okay, because the data page also seems confused on this.
Yes, I was also confused reading that too. I was like, did they change it?
Yeah, I feel like something went wrong in editing here.
Yeah, same. I'm wondering if they meant to switch this one with the one right after it, which is a dancing contest.
Yeah, I was thinking that too, because it shows here that Arakawa got the point for the dancing contest.
Yeah, that's gotta be it. It's switch.
There is it looks like they're going through one of those, like, stare optical illusion things. Another one here where Magic and Gorgon are doing a puzzle, a fashion show where Wolverine looks miserable and Storm is doing her best.
Yes, Storm is absolutely killing it right there, and I love it. Also, to shout out the puzzle one, which is Gorgon and Magic looking very confused, it is a puzzle of the first shot of the Green Lagoon from X-Force, which is really fun. But unfortunately, Krakoa does actually win that one, which was
Krakoa wins that one.
Yeah, Krakoa gets a point for it. And then it looks like Magic and Cable are trying to navigate Blightspoke, which they don't get a point from. Arakawa actually does.
You know, with Cable and Magic trying to navigate a map, I can believe that they lost.
Yeah, but final tally is 12-5, heading into our next scene at the Crooked Market, where Brian Braddock is here, and he has a race with Redroot through the Crooked Market.
Saturnine again tries to woo him, but he very quickly brushes her off, and she is met with the Furies, who are those robotic servants from the Everforge, and clearly has something up her sleeve.
Yeah, so we start our foot race. Captain Avalon here, very fast. Redroot, very not. But Captain Avalon is tackled by these robot men and just gets jumped.
Yeah, and they absolutely beat him to a pulp, and he barely has a chance.
Yeah.
I do have to say, they look really cool. I like this weird organic technology vibe that they have going. They also have just big glowing eyes, which, hey, thumbs up. I should say also that the contest for this one specifically is whoever can find the exit in the Crooked Market first. So Brian clearly had a better chance of doing so, considering how fast he was, as Redroot is just kind of very casually trotting along while he gets beaten up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to say, I was a little disappointed by this being the Crooked Market competition, because I would have loved, like, a bartering contest, or have a shopping list and you gotta go get all of the items or something like that.
Yeah, that I don't remember the name of the game show, but there's like a game show where I think you do that, or like some like Price is Right type deal. Yeah, that'd be fun.
Like whoever gets the best deal or something.
Yeah, or maybe you start with this item, you have to trade up to this item.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of interesting things you could do here.
Yeah, I get why they did it so simply, because you gotta have Captain Avalon here be ambushed by the robotic
the Furies,
crapmen, which I do love the design of.
These dudes are real
to me
cool.
Like they remind me of like Star Wars droids.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Especially because I can see one of them has like this chip box in their chest, and that reminds me so much of the thing that Darth Vader has in his costume.
Yes.
My favorite part about these dudes is they just feel like they're from a different story. Like, they don't feel like they belong in Otherworld at all. And I like that, actually, a lot. But yeah, Red Root finds the exit and comments that they have never won anything before.
Mm-hmm. You know
which,
what? Good for Red Root.
Also
good for Red Root.
Also makes the data page here in a little confusing. But yeah, 13.5 Arakawa, and unfortunately, Red Root has a debt to pay.
Yes, because as she was walking through the Crooked Market, she did knock over a rare crystal idol of bamboo, which is unfortunately priceless.
Yeah.
So for her payment, Jim Jaspers shrinks her down and puts her into a little glass vial, and that is now where she is, essentially trapped and in jail.
Yeah. And yeah, that we did get a data page earlier where Jim Jaspers seemed pretty interested in Red Root, so this tracks.
Yeah, and Brian is almost going to meet the same fate because during his fight, he ruined a lot of the stalls here that are selling things, and Saturnine very clearly maneuvers this to her advantage by saying, hey, you also owe a debt unless somebody comes in and helps you, which, you know, could be me if you're willing to do something.
Yeah. But we're interrupted by a data page here. It's Mojo's notes on some of the contests that have happened.
Yeah, it's fun. He's keeping an eye on everything because he knows it's good TV. He's going to record it and put it out in Mojo World so we can get some very, very high ratings. If you don't know what Mojo World is or who Mojo is, highly recommend reading X Factor that we've been covering before this event started. Basically, imagine if the current celebrity media culture in the US just went to an extreme. And also streamer culture. That's Mojo World.
Yeah.
If you've somehow been listening to this without reading the rest of X Factor, know that you've probably read like half of X Factor because it's got like 5 issues. So
yes.
far.
Yeah.
It's not very far into it, no.
Yeah.
No.
So, but yeah, no, fun notes. They definitely feel like big, sweet executives coming in and being like, no, you gotta change this, do that. And all of the changes are bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one's fun. I like the little parody here of the like exec notes.
Yeah. Like they talk about Magic losing to Pog, but there was a rematch in which she beat him, and like the exact note here is, in our version of this for the show, let's have Magic lose both times and become Pog's love interest afterward. It's like, yeah.
Which is terrible. Absolutely no.
Yeah. There's one where Wolverine, they have a note here about Wolverine losing again in the fight with Solemn, and they're like, let's give a nod to historical accuracy and also maintain the X-Men obliterative losing streak in our retelling of these events. We'll hammer it down as Wolverine's heel turn. Tell marketing to prepare for the ultimate betrayal. Yeah, it's all just real bad. But yeah, they describe a little bit of these that we didn't get much of, including the eating competition, where apparently Red Root decayed all the food and slurped it all down real easily and won the point, which they didn't. So that's weird. Whatever you say, Mojo.
Yeah, no, editorial oops.
Yeah.
Honestly, if you really wanted to wave it away, you could say Mojo's little minion just wrote something down incorrectly. Yeah. But it does seem like a small editorial mistake. But that's okay.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, some stuff I would attribute to, again, just whoever typed this up messing up in universe. But some of the thumbnails in the first pages do allude to some errors having been made.
Yeah.
Like, I refuse to believe that Krakoa didn't win the fashion.
Yeah,
Same.
and even here they say runway walk off the Arakawa one, and they also say they won the dance off, which just seems wrong. Yeah, it's like, I don't know. They like describe the whole thing as like Storm being like great because she was real drunk and just walk this thing with confidence.
Yeah, but Wolverine apparently brought it down in both instances, enough to where they didn't win.
Yeah.
Which, thinking about it, considering the fact that no one actually says what the victory count is at any point, we just get it in little graphics or data pages, I could see them changing it later on.
Yeah. But yeah, anyway, we go on to our next two contests, which are both shown parallel in descending panels, which I think is a really cool use of paneling here. Magic has a riddle, does not nail it.
Do you want to say how she doesn't nail it?
It's very funny.
The riddle is a white rabbit pulled out of a black top hat and a spell cast by a wizard in the very life force of Saturnine. What am I? And
Magic responds, well, easy, it's magic, and it's spelled Magik.
Yeah.
Which is incorrect, because that's how she spells her name.
No, yeah, that's not it. Meanwhile, on a more...
It's her confidence, I think, that gets me. She's like, well, obviously, this is correct.
Yeah. Meanwhile, in the other contest, Wolverine and the White Sword have to stare at all the people they have killed, and the first to look away loses. Wolverine doesn't do too well here. He starts crying.
This is a very small one, 4 panels. I really like it. Yeah. It's just everything has been pretty silly so far. This is the first one that kind of really gives more of an insight into a character that's not in a silly manner. And I really enjoy it.
I will say this feels very on brand for Wolverine. I don't know if we got any new insight here. But
I think it's pretty silly. I think it's as funny as the one next to it, honestly.
Yeah.
I think it's so funny that they fixed this specific contest for, like, to exploit his sentimentality. Yeah, especially the format. Like, this whole page, again, is like side by side. You've got 4 panels with Magic's test, 4 panels with Wolverine's test on the other side. It reminds me of, like, the 4 funny, like, end of volume mini comics that you get in manga. And those are usually very basic jokes. And this one does strike me like that.
Yeah.
Especially the last panel with him just tears streaming out of his eyes is extremely funny to me.
Yeah, and I just like the contrast of the White Sword, just this Thanos looking dude, like he's not having trouble with this. But yeah, Araka was now up 15-5.
Great.
It's bad.
Our next contest is they have to survive the rock sirens of Clevermore. It's some rocks. They, few can resist. Wolverine and Magic don't seem to have too much trouble, but Gorgon, like, starts stripping and running toward the rocks. They are like, we should leave. I think Gorgon's gonna fuck the rock.
Get it? Because
very funny.
He can look at people and turn them to stone.
Yeah.
But you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, and you guys did point it out, I think you're correct in the last one being a joke, especially because this one is a joke, and the one right after it is also a joke.
The next one is the best of them all.
Yeah,
the next one's really good.
It's War and Captain Avalon are both just standing here with Merlin, and they say, War says, "What is the task?" Merlin says simply, "Kill the kitten." As we get a close-up panel of just an adorable little kitten. And Captain Avalon turns to War, says, "You wouldn't," and then tries to restrain her as she goes for the kitten. Rakawa gets the point, 17-5.
Yeah, I think my favorite part of the punchline is Arako still gets the point.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that one's... I think I agree with you, Sergio. I think that one's my favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the final balance. This isn't the free-for-all bloody fight that we were all expecting. I prefer it this way, honestly.
Yeah.
I'm having so much fun.
It's very fun. But yeah.
They know what they're doing over there.
They do. I agree. I think this is the right call. It's very good. I think, especially with the issues they had left, I think, like, descending this into, like, a shonen-style tournament arc would have been a little cliche, I guess. So,
and part of me, especially now that we're noticing little things here and there, I really want to know how their plans changed. I believe I talked about it as we were starting X of Swords, but Teenie Howard was working alongside Jonathan Hickman to do this event, and she explicitly credits the time that they had during the initial COVID-19 lockdown during the pandemic as being able to turn X of Swords into what it ended up being. So I'm wondering if this is kind of where all of that changed, especially because we're noticing some point differences. But I would love to know, like, what was it that they were able to go back in and maybe perfect or tweak a little bit, or what did they do?
Yeah, that would be interesting. But yeah, we get another data page here about Blightswill, which is is harvested from Blight's spoke, and it's blood, apparently. And this was also the liquor that they drink.
It's really bad. It's very toxic to pretty much anybody, but it affects mutants the worst. It takes away their powers, dampening them for some time, and it's perhaps the more that one ingests or gets hit with, the longer their power is going to stay away. And like Tim said, this confirms that the poison in the whiskey is this. So Wolverine had his powers dampened. Now we're going to see what happens to Storm.
Yeah, Wolverine got his fixed pretty decently because he does have a healing factor. Storm does not. But yeah, time for a fight with Death. Doesn't seem like this is going to favor Storm too much.
No, she doesn't even realize where they are at first, as they are in Sevalith, the world of vampires, which has a very lovely red background tint to everything.
Oh, this, like, big page of just, like, when he just introduces this as Selvath rules. It's like a future vampire world. I really like this.
Yeah. I really like the aesthetic they're going for here. This is like Tron with vampires.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, not something you would put together normally, but it really works.
Yeah, it rules.
Yeah.
Bring Wolverine here.
Is this also
Yes.
like a joint thing written by Percy and Duggan?
Yes, it
Okay,
is.
I bet this is the part that Duggan wrote.
I would agree.
But yeah.
Duggan does a very good job with Storm, so I do think this is him.
Yeah. But yeah, Storm remarks she can barely fight at this point. And Death is like, okay, do you forfeit? And she's like, no. Oh.
I may be hungover, weakened, my powers are gone, but I'm still gonna win.
I think we've mentioned this at some point. There was a time, and we kind of saw this a little bit in X-Men 97, they kind of did this arc for a little bit, where Storm lost her powers due to something that Forge did. In the comics, that remained the status quo for a little bit, and she led the X-Men during that. Her mutant power at that point didn't exist. She just used knives.
Mm-hmm.
So this
Yeah.
is not.
There is no.
Sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
This is not really outside of Storm's wheelhouse here.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's no demonic owl here to show her the way, but she still manages.
Yeah, she does pretty well.
Yeah, considering, Death has this really cool midnight black sword, Storm is able to break it with Stormbreaker? Is that her sword?
Yeah, I think so.
She's able to break that, and Death is about to use his own death sight against her that we saw him use against one of the servants, but she is able to reflect it right back at him.
Yeah, I think that sword can do that. That I remember looking at the stat page for this sword, and this thing was nuts.
Yes. Yeah, no, it can redirect any kind of energy, including this weird death energy going on. And I have to say, we haven't been able to see Death's actual face. We only ever see the back of it, because, if you look at him, you're going to die. And you see the tiniest glimpse of his face in the reflection of the sword, and it's great. He looks like a weird, decaying zombie creature.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, she just reflects it back at him and just stabs him, like brutally. I think this. She mentions this fight was what was this fight too? What was the win condition here? Did they mention it?
I went back over. I didn't see it unless it was said, really offhand. I would assume it's until first blood.
Yeah, I kind of
that does make sense.
I kind of gathered that too. The zombies or the vampires just descend on death. I'm pretty sure death is just dead.
Yes.
Storm killed death. She says, "Have a taste," and walks off 17-6. Have you ever seen that like basketball thing where it's like a tweet where I don't remember the exact context, but it's like someone scores an impressive like triple double or whatnot to like bring the score up to still losing by like a lot, and that's just this. Like
Yes. It makes me think of the meme where it's the one guy celebrating super hard and then it shows he won third place.
yeah. Like it's just this real
Yeah.
cool moment for like 17-6. You're still down by 11.
Yeah. The Araco champions are down by 2 now, though. And
Yes, that
Krakow
is the one
hasn't suffered
benefit.
any losses.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that is the one benefit here is like actually they're doing a little better body count wise. And this is gonna sound terrible. All they lost was Betsy, which,
Hey, she
No.
was.
Yeah, she wasn't gonna push the Valance.
I don't
No.
know. She was kind of hanging in there against the Iska the Unbeaten, which is kind of impressive.
she was, and I'm definitely gonna give her that. And like, she's a good swordswoman in her own right, and she's strong with her powers. But all things considered, not the worst person to lose if you were gonna lose somebody on your team.
Yeah, I'm sure this will be the big turning point for Krakow here.
Yes, as they're down 11 points.
Yeah.
And still have to fight Iska the Unbeaten.
Yeah, that's still someone on their team. But yeah, that's the issues. Yeah.
Oh boy.
Pretty fun set. Things are looking bad.
Yeah, things are looking real bad. Fun, honestly, really, really fun. These are fun little challenges and everything to go through. And I'm really happy I got to read them again, because I'm definitely coming away from this with a lot more respect for the story, but also a lot more enjoyment out of it. Now that I've gotten over the, okay, we're not going to get a big fighting tournament, it turns into something good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ultimately, I like this direction better. And, there's still time. We will get some good fights. We got some good fights in these ones. It's not like it's all fun and games.
Yeah, I want to shout out specifically, I think the Storm and Death fight and the Summoner and Wolverine fight are very cool.
Yeah.
I would say the Wolverine war fight is very cool.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah.
So, I'm on board
Definitely.
with that. But you know who I think could really turn this thing around?
I have a guess, but I want to hear you say it.
The Hellions.
I
Because
agree.
next week, we will be covering, or not next week, next episode, we will be covering Hellions number 6, Cable number 6, and X-Men number 15. As we finally get to see what the Hellions are doing. Last time we saw them, they were trying to steal Arakawa's swords before the fight can begin. I don't think that worked out.
Something tells me they didn't succeed. I think something probably went wrong.
I'm sure everything's under control. I'm sure they managed to be a well-organized team and stay on course, and they came up with an even better plan.
Yeah, I'm sure they did.
We're gonna see them execute it next issue.
I'm sure Grey Crow doesn't kill Empath again, and everything's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, that's our issues this week. Does anyone have any final thoughts?
No, I did enjoy them. They are, again, very easy to read, not a lot to discuss. They're just kind of what they are. A lot of fun jokes, but still a good time. I like it when stories turn to humor so effectively.
Yeah, same. But yeah, I think that will be it for this week. Yeah, wanna close this out here, Chris?
Sure. If you have listened to this part, thank you so much for listening and joining us in reading all of these fun comics. If you could leave us a review on your podcasting app of choice, that would be great. It helps us get out there and find more people to come on this journey with us through the Krakoan era of comics. If you want to follow us on social media, you can follow the podcast at Study of X. That can be found on Twitter, also known as X, Tumblr, and on Blue Sky. We also have an email, so if you have any questions, comments, maybe a correction here and there, you can send it to studyofx@gmail.com. If you want to follow me personally, you can follow me on Blue Sky under Sawneeks. That is SAWNEEKS. And Tim, if they are looking to follow you on social media, where can they find it in the Crooked Market?
I'm currently attempting to steal the swords of the Rakawa champions before that fight starts.
Are you or are you not with somebody who normally wears a cape but didn't for a little bit of time?
Let's see. Yes.
Okay. Alright, we will keep that a secret. And Sergio, if they're looking to find you on social media to follow you and learn more about the different tournament challenges that are upcoming and maybe who will win this tournament, where can they find you?
I'm currently collaborating with, God, I forgot the Crooked Market guy.
Jim Jaspers.
Jim Jaspers. I'm collaborating with Jim Jaspers at the moment on the new trial. It's gonna be bartering / find hide and seek competition.
All right.
Ooh. Okay, that sounds fun. Yeah, that does sound really good. Do you have any idea of who might participate in that competition?
I'm trying to pitch Jim on the Cypher and oh god, who should be on the other side? It's definitely Cypher on the Krakow side. I'll leave it up to Jim. You can have this one.
Okay, he can have one side, you can have the other, but I agree, I think Cypher is a good pick for that.
Yeah, he's pretty good at bartering. He would understand everyone.
Alright everyone, that is our episode for today. Until next time, later mutants.
Bye.
Bye.